So if you have a credit card you've had open for 5 years, and you've had a car loan open for 3 years, they average those payment histories together. So it's a 4-year history. Well, if you close an account, you lose that account for the rest of your life on your credit scoring algorithm. So if you had a 20-year-old credit card and you close it today, you just lost 20 years of good history.
Wow.
So if you have a long-term account, keep it going. Don't close the credit cards there. Some people just have like a car loan, so they don't have a credit card, so their score, they don't have anything negative, so they got that portion covered. They don't have a credit card, so they're losing that piece, but they do have a car loan they've had open for 5 years. Well, they might have a 700 FICO score. They're not going to have much higher than a 700, but if they pay off their car, now all of a sudden that account is closed. So that's out of the equation. Their score is going to drop drastically. So to calculate your FICO score, you have to have open accounts that you've had open for a while. So credit cards, you get points from when you open it from day one. And then you get points for what's your percentage of the balance to limit ratio. And then how many months have you used it? It stops after 99. So without getting too technical, credit cards are very key here. New credit consists of inquiries. You're going to get dinged on a credit report by having somebody pull your inquiry of your credit score. You're going to lose anywhere from 0 to 5 points. If you go online to see what your credit score is, you're not going to get dinged. Online credit pulls are considered a soft pull, so you don't get dinged any inquiries. That's the one positive thing. If you want a snapshot of what's on your credit report, great. But it's this, you're not going to get a true score. So if you go buy a car, that's going to be a hard inquiry. You're going to lose anywhere from 1 to 5 points. The inquiries, you get dinged on a couple different ways. The more inquiries you have, the less it's going to affect each inquiry. So if you've pulled my credit 10 times, I might only get dinged 2 points per those 10 inquiries. Whereas if you pull my credit twice, I might get dinged 4 points for each one. So you get dinged. The more inquiries you have, the less it affects each one. Also, how high your credit score is going to dictate how far you're going to drop down with anything negative. If you have a collection, your score is 750, you're probably going to lose 50, 60 points on that collection. If you have a collection at 550, you're probably only going to lose 20 or 30 points, let's say, because the average of how many collections have you had, what is your score at the time. Okay, so the higher credit score you are, the harder you're going to fall down. Types of credit used is the last piece of the pie that we talk to your clients about. You want to have a mixture of an installment account and a revolving account. Installment account is a car loan, it's a mortgage loan, it's your student loan. The same amount you pay every month, that's an installment account. Whereas a revolving account, credit cards, fluctuates each month. So the ratio from installment to revolving is a 1-to-1 up to a 3-to-1 ratio. So if you have a car payment and a mortgage payment and a student loan, you have 3 installment accounts. You should have 1 credit card to get that piece of the pie as well. That's the big chunk, 30%. That's only 10%. So that's a 3-to-1 ratio. You could have 3 credit cards with those 3 installment loans, and you're still okay with that 1-to-1 ratio. So it's a 1-to-1, 3-to-1 ratio. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but this is how they calculate your score in this piece of the pie here. You could have 9 credit cards and still be okay with 3 installment loans. You're still at the 3-to-1 ratio. But you got to be careful, how many credit cards are you actually opening? Because I had one investor, he had about 60 installment loans. He had properties all over. He asked me, he's like, you're telling me I have to have 20 credit cards to maximize my 60 installment accounts? I said, well, for your case, no, because it's only 10% of the pie here. If you have 4 credit cards right now, that's fine. You go open up 5 more, you're going to lose points by inquiries, by them pulling your credit. Now your length of history, they average all your accounts together. So if you had 4 cards open for 20 years and you just go open up 4 more now, you're going to lose points that way because they're averaging your history. Are you keeping them at 10% to 30% each month? So one piece of the pie will affect everything else.